You're standing near a pond. It's a warm afternoon, and out of nowhere, something fast and metallic looking zips right past your face. You flinch. It circles back. It hovers a few inches from your head like it's studying you, then darts off in a blur. Your first thought is probably the same thought everyone has. That thing is gonna sting me. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll never look at this insect the same way again. And if you've ever swatted one away in fear, you're gonna want to see what it was actually doing. This is the dragonfly, and it might be one of the most feared insects on the planet for absolutely no reason at all. People call them devil's darning needles. There's an old story, still repeated today, that claims dragonflies will sew your mouth shut while you sleep, if you tell a lie. Others call them horse stingers, convinced that long tail is a weapon built to hurt you. None of that is true, not even a little bit. Here's the reality. A dragonfly has no stinger. It has never had one. That long, slender tail you're afraid of isn't a weapon at all. It's used for balance in flight and for reproduction. It cannot sting you, and it has no venom of any kind. Can it bite? Technically, yes, but only in extremely rare situations, and only if you grab one and refuse to let go. Even then, the bite barely registers. It might feel like a light pinch. There's no poison, no swelling, no lasting mark. For almost everyone watching this right now, the odds of ever being bitten by a dragonfly in your entire life are close to zero. So if this insect isn't after you, what exactly is it doing when it zips past your face like that? To answer that, we need to go back to where its whole life actually begins, and it's not in the air. Before it's ever the fast, colorful flyer you picture, a dragonfly spends most of its life hidden underwater. Depending on the species, it can live down there for 1 to 5 years, sometimes even longer. During that time, it exists as something called a nymph, and this stage looks absolutely nothing like the adult it will eventually become. The nymph is stocky, armored, and built for one purpose only: killing. It doesn't have wings yet. It doesn't need them. What it has instead is one of the most brutal hunting tools found anywhere in the insect world. Tucked underneath its head is a hinged, extendable jaw called the labium. At rest, it's folded up like a mask, completely hidden. But the moment prey wanders close, the nymph builds up water pressure inside its body and fires that jaw forward in under 20 milliseconds. That's faster than you can blink. The labium shoots out, grabs the prey with hooked pincers, and yanks it straight back into the nymph's mouth. There's no escape once it locks on. And this thing isn't picky. A young nymph starts small, feeding on tiny water fleas and other microscopic creatures. But as it grows, it takes on almost anything that moves in the water around it. Mosquito larvae, worms, tadpoles, small fish, other insect larvae, and yes, sometimes even smaller dragonfly nymphs, including its own siblings if food is scarce. As it eats and grows, the nymph doesn't just get bigger in one smooth motion. It molts, shedding its outer shell again and again, sometimes up to 15 or more times before it's finally ready to leave the water. Most nymphs also rely heavily on camouflage while they wait. Many species are colored to blend perfectly into mud, dead leaves, or plant stems, staying completely motionless for long stretches at a time. That patience is the whole strategy. Instead of chasing prey around, the nymph lets its meal come to it, then strikes the instant it's within range. It's a slow, quiet kind of predator, which is exactly why it's so easy to walk right past a pond full of them without ever knowing they're there. Here's a number that puts things into perspective. Scientists studying dragonfly nymphs and adults have found they successfully catch their prey up to 90, even 97% of the time. Compare that to a lion, which only succeeds in about 1 out of every 4 hunts, or a great white shark, which misses half the time. For its size, this insect is one of the most efficient predators that has ever existed on this planet. There's something else this nymph can do that most people never learn about. That same water pressure system it uses to fire its jaw forward also doubles as a built-in engine. When it needs to escape a predator or lunge at prey from a distance, the nymph can forcefully push water out of the back of its body, blasting itself forward in a burst of speed. It's essentially jet propulsion, millions of years before humans ever thought of the concept. So the next time you feel nervous around a dragonfly, remember, it earned that instinct underwater, hunting things far more helpless than you, not the other way around. And it's not just a modern thing either. Dragonflies belong to one of the oldest groups of flying insects on the planet, a group that has existed for more than 300 million years, long before dinosaurs walked the Earth. Back then, in the swampy forests of the Carboniferous period, some of their ancient relatives were enormous, with wingspans stretching up to 70 centimeters, close to the size of a crow. Scientists believe the atmosphere at the time held much higher oxygen levels, which allowed insects to grow to sizes we simply don't see today. Those giants are long gone, but the basic body plan barely changed. If you shrunk one of those ancient hunters down, it would look remarkably similar to the dragonfly buzzing around your backyard right now. This insect has been perfecting the exact same hunting strategy since before trees had bark. After years spent underwater, something shifts. The nymph's body starts preparing for a transformation it can't undo. Slowly, its internal systems begin adapting from breathing underwater to breathing air. When the moment finally comes, the nymph climbs out of the water, grips onto a plant stem or a rock, and stays completely still. Then, its old skin splits open down the back, and the adult dragonfly begins pulling itself free. This part takes patience. Its wings come out soft, wrinkled, and completely useless at first, like they're pressed the wrong way. Blood-like fluid called hemolymph pumps into those wings over the next several hours, slowly stretching and hardening them until they're strong enough to fly. Only after that process is complete does the dragonfly take its first flight, leaving behind the underwater hunter it used to be. And this is where most of us actually meet it. In the air, fast, unpredictable, and honestly, a little intimidating. But here's the thing nobody tells you. That adult dragonfly you're scared of isn't hunting you either. It's hunting the exact insects that actually do bother you. Adult dragonflies are relentless predators of mosquitoes, gnats, flies, and other small flying insects. They catch their meals mid-air, using their 6 legs almost like a basket to scoop prey directly out of the sky, then bite it apart with quick, powerful jaws while still flying. A single dragonfly can eat dozens, sometimes hundreds of mosquitoes in a single day. If you've ever wondered why some ponds and backyards seem to have fewer mosquitoes than others, a healthy dragonfly population is very often the reason. Researchers have looked into this so seriously that dragonflies are now considered one of the best natural forms of mosquito control available, which is honestly the opposite of everything the horse stinger nickname suggests. Part of what makes them such good hunters is their eyesight. A dragonfly's head is almost entirely made of eyes, built from roughly 30,000 individual lenses that give it nearly a full circle of vision. It can detect ultraviolet light that we can't even see, Its brain processes movement so precisely that it can predict exactly where its prey is heading and adjust its flight path before the target even reacts. That's why dragonflies rarely chase prey directly. They intercept it, arriving exactly where the insect is about to be.
Their flying ability matches that vision perfectly. Each of the four wings is powered by its own separate set of muscles, which means a dragonfly can move each wing independently. That's what lets it hover in place, fly straight up or down, reverse direction instantly, or even fly backward, something very few insects can pull off. Some species have been recorded reaching speeds close to 30 miles an hour, making them among the fastest insects in the world relative to their size. Put all of that together, the eyes, the brain, and the wings, and you get an aerial hunting machine that very few insects can outmaneuver. And the diversity within this group is bigger than most people realize. There are more than 5,000 known species of dragonflies and damselflies around the world, ranging from tiny species barely bigger than a fingernail to the largest living damselfly found in Central American rainforests with a wingspan close to 19 centimeters. Some species are bright red, others a deep metallic blue or green, and a few even change color as they age. No matter where you live, if there's clean water nearby, there's a good chance one of these species is patrolling it right now. As impressive as they are, dragonflies aren't invincible. Once they leave the water, they become targets themselves. Birds pick them out of the air mid-flight. Spiders catch them in webs strung between reeds. Frogs snap them up if they fly too close to the surface. Even other larger dragonflies will hunt smaller ones. For an insect so skilled at catching everything around it, it spends its entire adult life being hunted right back. That constant pressure to survive is also part of why mating happens so quickly once a dragonfly reaches adulthood. Depending on the species, an adult might only live for a few weeks, though some can survive up to a year. Either way, the clock is running, and reproduction becomes the priority almost immediately. Male dragonflies will grip a female by the back of her head using specialized claspers at the end of their body, and together they form a distinctive loop shape you may have noticed if you've ever watched two dragonflies flying connected to each other over a pond. After mating, females lay their eggs directly in water or inside the stems of aquatic plants, sometimes even submerging themselves briefly to do it. And the entire cycle starts over again with a new generation of nymphs settling into the mud below. Now, you might be wondering how to tell a dragonfly apart from its close relative, the damselfly, since people often confuse the two. It's simpler than you'd think. When a dragonfly lands, it holds its wings out flat, straight to the sides, like a small airplane. A damselfly folds its wings back along its body when it rests. Dragonflies also tend to have thicker bodies and eyes that touch or sit close together, while damselflies are slimmer, with eyes set further apart. Both are completely harmless to humans in the same way. So, if this insect isn't dangerous, and it's actually eating the bugs that bother you, why does it still have such a bad reputation? Part of it is simply how it looks. Big eyes, a long body, fast, unpredictable flight, all of that can register as threatening even when there's no threat at all. Part of it is old folklore that never got corrected, stories passed down for generations, long before anyone actually studied these insects. And part of it is instinct. When something moves fast and flies close to your face, your brain reacts before your logic gets a chance to catch up. But once you understand what's actually going on, a dragonfly landing near you isn't something to fear. In a lot of cultures, it's actually seen as a good sign. Many people consider a dragonfly appearing nearby to represent change, renewal, or good luck. And beyond folklore, there's a very real practical reason to be happy when you spot one. Dragonflies only thrive in areas with clean, healthy water.
Their nymphs are extremely sensitive to pollution. So if you're seeing dragonflies regularly around a pond, stream, or lake, that's usually a strong sign the water there is in good condition.
If a dragonfly ever does land on you, which happens more than you'd think since they're naturally curious and often use humans as a convenient perch, the best thing to do is exactly nothing.
Stay still. Let it rest for a moment, and it will move on when it's ready. There's no reason to swat, panic, or run. You're not prey, and you're not a threat worth wasting energy on. You're just furniture that happened to be warm.
So here's what we actually know. This is an insect with no stinger, no venom, and virtually no interest in you at all. It spent years underwater as one of the most efficient hunters on the planet, and now that it's finally in the air, it's still hunting. Just not you. It's hunting the mosquitoes and gnats that actually make your summer miserable.
The next time one darts past your face near a pond or a garden, maybe don't swat at it. Take a second and actually watch what it's doing. Chances are, it's working. And it's working in your favor.
If this changed the way you see dragonflies, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who are just as curious as you are. And let me know in the comments, have you ever been afraid of one of these or swatted one away without knowing what it actually was? Subscribe if you want more videos breaking down the misunderstood creatures most people never take the time to actually understand, because there are a lot more of them out there than you'd expect. See you in the next one.